So, this is my friend Tubbo, and he's got a problem. This man locked me in a house for 6 days. He even put me in handcuffs. You may be wondering, Freddy, why did he put you in handcuffs? Did you do something illegal? Is it a romantic thing? No, it's actually none of those things. It was actually for reality TV. That's right, Tubbo made his own reality TV show. Firstly, Tubbo assembled the Dream Team. Maybe not that. First, Tubbo assembled the God Squad. Let me explain. 6 content creators have been locked in a house together. The rules are simple. Each day, one of us gets eliminated. Every day there's a challenge where we can gain points. In the evening, we all get 1 point to give to someone else in the house. Then, the people with the 3 lowest points go up for public vote for 1 person each night to be eliminated. Finally, the last 2 players play split or steal for the entire prize pool of $5,000. For the record, we had no idea there was actually even any prize pool, let alone $5,000. Now, I really wanted to win this show, so being the chess player I am, I had to come up with a strategy. I've got to admit, you may not view me the same after watching this video. I did some pretty messed up things. Now, going into this house, I felt I was definitely an underdog. We had Roscumber, possibly the kindest human on the planet. We had Jazzy Ann, incredibly intelligent, very funny, an extremely dedicated audience on YouTube. And potentially, my biggest threat, Koi Piso, a very dedicated audience, son of Jimmy Donaldson, and someone that I knew would be in the centre of all the drama. So, most people's predictions were for me, CPK, and John A to be voted out first. I knew I couldn't walk in like I owned the place, so I decided on the first day to cook dinner for everybody. There's 2 things I've learned from being on this planet. Number 1, if you pull your weight in a shared house, people really appreciate it. And 2, food just always brings people together. Okay, quick interruption. I've actually just finished editing this video, and it's taken me like 2 months to edit. So if you guys could press the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. I don't know how much you guys know about editing, but this timeline is ridiculous. So yeah, please subscribe. Now, the first night, nobody was eliminated. But the next day, we jumped straight into the first challenge. It's very simple. We drop an egg off a building and try and make a contraption for it to survive in. Now, this was a great opportunity for me to gain some trust. Obviously, I'm trying to get the house on my good side. I want to get as many points as possible, as that gives me the best chance of survival. So, I helped Roz put their egg in a balloon, and I also gave Jazzy a tub of mine to put their egg in. It got to egg drop, and yeah, no, my egg didn't survive. I was in the bottom 3. However, I somehow managed to acquire 3 points from everyone else in the house. This put me joint third with Jazzy Ann, meaning a tiebreaker. But I decided to sacrifice myself and take a spot in the bottom 3. Yes. I'm happy to be in the bottom 3. If I get voted out, I'm okay with that. I've had a wonderful day. But this was perfect. I mean, Jazzy literally gave me their point. So I made myself look all noble, but realistically, I was just kind of doing the right thing. It was definitely a risk to sacrifice myself, but I knew if I could survive tonight, I'd be in a very strong position. It went to a final public vote between me and CPK, but by 2 votes, I managed to stay in. Thank you, Mum and Dad. I appreciate it. So we head into the next day. Today's challenge was Nerf Battle. I knew today I had to change up my game plan, so I decided to start stirring some shit. I knew if I could start some drama, people want to keep me around. As Johnny left the room, I said we should target him, but the Nerf Battle started and it was very clear that Koi and Jazzy were going to team up. To make matters worse, we had a random selection of what guns we would get, and I was given the worst guns. However, I somehow managed to clutch up.
You got me.
And win the round, gaining myself a point. The second round, Roz played the slow game, but still managed to gain a point.
Oh, you got me!
I knew Johnny needed to win a point this round, otherwise his chances in the bottom 3 were almost certain. So, I made an alliance.
One's life.
I promise you,
One's
life.
life.
And if not, don't vote for me tonight.
Okay.
If I team with you,
Fine. Promise you.
I want you to stay in this as much as me. Me and Johnny won the shootout.
Oh!
And I sacrificed myself. This was perfect. If I managed to gain Johnny's trust enough, I basically guaranteed myself his point for later on. However, there were still 2 more rounds. Hide and seek and assassin. Johnny won hide and seek, gaining another point. So now it was time for assassin. Each player gets assigned a target to eliminate, but when eliminating, you cannot be seen by anyone other than the target. You get 1 point for each elimination, but if you get the first kill, you get 2 points. I knew that I needed to win this, otherwise I'd definitely be in the bottom 3. Very early on, Koi and Jazzy disappeared, and Roz and Johnny didn't seem that bothered to be left alone, so I knew something was up. Johnny went to the toilet and Roz even said that her target was Johnny. From this and reading their body language, I was fairly confident they had each other. My target was Koi, therefore I was pretty sure that Jazzy Ann's target was me. I was pretty sure that Coy got the first murder, given that him and Jazzy were left alone. However, I was aware Coy might not have the heart to shoot his best friend. As I didn't have a friend to protect me, I had to protect myself. So, I swooped in and I killed Coy as fast as I could. I didn't notice at the time, but this was actually the first kill, and I had pretty much guaranteed myself safety for another night. People were pissed off at me though, because now Jazzy Ann was in the firing line. It was looking like me and Johnny were going to be in the top 2, which means Coy, Jazzy, and Roz were going to be in the bottom 3, which to be honest was an ideal situation. Me and Johnny were both underdogs, and getting rid of one of the other 3 seemed like a smart move, but Coy was determined to save Jazzy Ann. The problem with this is I was put in a very difficult situation.
We say if you give Jazzy a point, Jazzy's gonna give you her point.
Yeah. No,
That's good. That's good for both of them. In the bottom 3, it's me, you, and Johnny.
So we all vote Jazzy, apart from Jazzy, who votes for Freddy.
And Freddy doesn't have to worry about betraying Johnny.
Yeah, because
Johnny will be out.
Bottom 3. Yeah.
Now we just have to convince Fred.
So Coy pulled me aside onto the roof and tried to convince me why I should save Jazzy and backstab Johnny. But I was very skeptical.
I understand your skepticism, but the reason that I can get Roz on board so quickly is because it gets Johnny.
Yeah, but Johnny's a good ally for me to have.
I know he is.
The whole decision can't wait on me.
It does. I think that
Yeah, so it's
your
like
biggest ally being the one who is he gonna make it to the next day? It might be worth strengthening your allyships with.
Saving Johnny would help me for another night, maybe even 2. However, I knew as soon as it got to the bottom 3, people would turn on me. I knew I didn't want to have Coy as an enemy. If I got involved in the drama, it could be my best chance to go on and win this thing. So, I decided to backstab Johnny. However, I needed to do it on my own terms. Coy was trying to convince me to give my point to Jazzy. However, I knew if I did this, the remaining 3 would turn on me the next day. This is why I decided to give my vote to Roz. Not only would this gain a potential allyship with Roz, but would also put Jazzy Ann in a lot of debt to me. This is how the score currently stands. It was time for Toby to announce the votes to the rest of us.
First point, and it is to Jazzy Ann. The next point, and it is to Jazzy Ann. The next vote is to Freddie Badlinu. Ooh! The next point that's going to be given out this evening is Johnny's, and it goes to Freddie Badlinu. Johnny, you want to talk us through it?
You know, we might not have the community chat vote, but we've got each other, and that's all that matters. That's all I gotta say.
That's very sweet, Johnny. Final point being given out this evening is Fred's, and it is to Roz.
So Johnny and Jazzy went to a tiebreaker, but Johnny agreed to go in the bottom 3. It went to a final vote between Roz and Johnny, but surprisingly, Johnny went home.
I love you forever.
That night, I felt pretty terrible. Johnny was one of my closest friends in the house, and I backstabbed him, but look, a game's a game. I was definitely playing the game now. The next morning, I think Roz had clocked on to the alliance between Jazzy and Coy.
Jazzy Ann and Coy. I feel like, no matter what, they're kind of a pair, right?
Yeah.
Me and Freddie, we're kind of loners.
So it kind of made sense for Roz to be on my side, especially because I'd given Roz a point the night before. Thankfully, backstabbing Johnny was slowly paying off. Today's challenge was dressed to impress. We had 1 hour to go thrifting and come up with an outfit. I knew this was my chance to get some viewers on side, so I decided to go as Applejack from My Little Pony. I even made myself a tail. I think everyone smashed this challenge out of the park. Jazzy got 2 points and me and Coy got 1. I wasn't in a great spot, so I had to plant a few seeds to try and get Coy to come up with one of his evil schemes again.
One thing I do have, I have Walt inside. She's under the impression it's 2v2 right now. Interesting. I run with Roz if she just done 8. I'm like, stand for something.
I think me, Coy, and Jazzy were really keen to get in the top 3, and the other 2 pulled me aside with a plan to try and eliminate Roz. My plan with Coy and Jazzy was for them to be in the bottom 3 and to try and get Roz out. However, my plan with Roz was for her to be in the bottom 3 and to try and knock either Coy or Jazzy out. I've been stirring a bit of shit all day, and I guess Coy and Jazzy wanted their best shot to try and eliminate Roz. This was the best case scenario, and I could relax. So I had a little bit to drink. Little did I know, I wasn't done for the night. The poll took Coy and Roz to the bottom 2. This meant it was a public poll for the audience to decide.
Oh my god.
Could you explain what's happened?
Roz, you have 1,785 votes. Coy, you have 1,785 votes. It is perfectly split.
I think those that try to balance the vote are cowards. And as somebody who has witnessed this show over the last 3 days and has consistently seen you guys vote, I think it's more interesting when we can see what you truly think. Because this is what happens now. This is what you get.
The tiebreaker is not nice, and it was deliberately made as mean as possible to punish the community for when they balanced the poll.
Okay, but be honest, is the community being punished? The cowards? Sorry, I mean, I love you guys so much. I just people, I love you guys so much. Drink water, hydrate.
What I plan for the tiebreaker is the people in the house get to vote on who leaves. If it's balanced again, I will send both Koi and Roz home.
Oh
and
my
the show
god.
will end a day earlier.
Oh my god.
I thought I could relax tonight.
Yeah.
This was the hardest decision that I had to make. It also didn't help that I was a bit drunk. I knew that Jazzy wanted Koi to stay in, so strategically, I should have voted for Roz to stay in. That would secure my place in the final. But I'm a man of the content, and
Alright, Fred, no words should leave your lips now. No explanation, only who you want to leave. You're not allowed to say anything other than who you want to leave the Watchbox house. Okay, Ross, you don't get to say anything or justify yourself. You're voting for yourself or Koi. Say whether you want yourself to go home or Koi.
No! Those are terrible options!
Yourself! Jazzy, you voted Roz out. Your roommate, your new friend. Now, if Fred stayed true to his alliance and voted Koi here, you're both going home. If you betrayed his alliance, Roz, you're going home. Fred voted to remove Roz from the Watchbox house. Roz, I'm so sorry. You've been a pleasure, and you've provided so much happiness and so many smiles.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Oh,
Oh, it's okay. Thank
it's
you.
waiting for you.
Don't say that.
so Roz left, and I made it to the final 3. And I was pretty proud of myself. I also knew that now I needed to get my audience, yet you guys, on my side. So I posted on all my socials saying, help, help! Anyway, the semi-finals had come around. I think there was an understanding between all 3 of us that Koi had a very strong chance of getting to the finals. Throughout this week, Koi's community had shown a lot of loyalty to him. But because of this, there was almost an unspoken acknowledgement that me and Jazzy would probably be going up against each other. The final task was a cooking challenge, but I wasn't too confident because it wasn't just Toby judging me, it was the other 2 contestants as well. I had a feeling that I wouldn't necessarily get the fairest scores, especially because Koi and Jazzy very much seemed to have an alliance throughout this whole week. However, today I decided I was going to judge all my dishes fairly. One thing I do know is people do not like a bad sport. First up was Koi's. He made a pretty nice pasta dish with garlic bread. It had roasted tomatoes, garlic, and even some vegetarian parmesan just for me. I've got to admit, it was pretty good. Next up was Jazzy Ann. She made a wonderful dish, some vegetarian chicken just for me, and a salad. Jokes aside, this was probably one of the best salads I've ever had, so I couldn't lie, I had to vote it very high. Next up was mine. I made a lasagna, and I was pretty happy with it. It seemed like the 3 judges were too.
Just wow. I'm speechless. Honestly, so good.
However, not all of us were judging very fairly.
Koi, you gave Fred 3 for looks, 7 for effort, 8 for taste. Jazzy, you gave Fred a 9 for looks, a 10 for effort, and a 1 for taste. You didn't explain to me right now why Koi got a 4 for taste and Fred got a 1?
Okay, Fred, I'm gonna be so honest. I gave you a 10 and a 9, and then at the last moment, I was like, I can't let him win.
You're a bad sport, that's what you're saying.
Stop. This is a game.
Yeah, it's a game, so you're a bad sport.
So there was some clear sabotaging going on here. Anyway, Jazzy won the point. She did change her score for me afterwards, but the damage was already done. I had the option to change my score afterwards as well, but I didn't really think I'd gain anything from that. I knew that the chat were going to be a little bit annoyed about this lack of sportsmanship, so I just had to play it up for the camera. Look, if you're going to play dirty tactics on me, then I'm going to throw them right back.
I'm sorry, Fred. I'm sorry, Fred.
I mean, look, it was your words. I'm going to score these fairly, so... I could have changed yours all to 1. I got the option, didn't I? I didn't.
Oh, you're such a good Samaritan.
No, I'm just a good sport.
Bruh, come on.
Nah, there's playing a game and there's playing a game.
I changed my mind.
If I'm playing a game of football and I kick someone in the face and I go, oh sorry, I changed my mind, I don't want to kick you in the face anymore, you still kick the
I'm
face.
sorry.
But also, Koi was involved as well. You gave me a 4?
I was
In
not
between
scheming
us.
against you. Jazzy did judge me harshly. That is interesting about the two of us and our trust and our scheming.
Yeah, because we...
Not nearly as harsh as Fred, though.
I mean, look, it doesn't take a genius to work out that it was, very, very unfair. You admitted that.
You want to talk about playing games? You're playing a game for them right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can listen to this, okay, but they did this to Roz, they did this to Cal, they did this to Johnny, okay, alright?
You did
Alright.
all
You've
of
done
Johnny.
it. You've done it.
I had no choice. I had no choice to do it to Johnny. I had no choice to do it to Roz. I was forced into those positions. After Jazzy Ann gave me a 1, I clearly wasn't going to get her point. And I knew if I voted for Koi, he would be on 2 points. If Koi voted for me, he pretty much guaranteed a spot in the final. So all I needed to do was convince Koi to vote for me, which, to be honest, wasn't that hard.
So you get work one, then you're safe.
I see what you're saying.
We all had one final confession to get the chat behind us. I reminded everyone of the unfair food ratings. I also pointed out that I was the only non-American left, because I know a lot of people hate Americans.
Okay, Fred. Your 2 minutes starts now. Good luck.
It's been an amazing week. I've shown nothing but loyalty. Anytime I've had to turn on my friends, I didn't really have a choice. I really, really want to stay. I'd be gutted if I went home tonight because I've been here for 100 hours. I want to do this for the UK. I don't want the Americans to win. I fucking hate them. So, if you want a Roz to stay, if you want a Johnny to stay, if you want a Cal to stay, so did I, because they're all British. And, look, I fucking hate Americans, man.
That's time.
Lots of love, chat. Revenge for Roz, man.
Come on, man.
So I walked downstairs to take on those 2 stupid Americans. Sorry, Americans. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh. As predicted, it was me and Jazzy Ann in the final 2. This was going to be close. To be fair, Jazzy, if you stay, you can make a salad for Koi tomorrow.
And y'all know it was good. Y'all ate it up. Y'all wanted leftovers. Like,
It's a shame my
listen, I'm a
lasagna tasted
girl.
like
I'm gonna make a
shit.
salad. I'm kidding. Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, I was saying my lasagna tasted like shit, didn't it?
He's farming even in the final moments.
Bro, the way I gave you literally 10.
You gave me 1 point. It was
I gave
poor
him
sportsmanship.
10.
Wasn't
I
it?
gave him 10.
No, I'm just saying, look, if you want to keep being a true warrior. Okay, alright, okay.
I gave him 10.
You gave me 1.
I gave you 10.
You gave
We
me...
changed the vote.
Okay, but you gave me 1 in the first place, so it was bad sportsmanship, okay? I gave you fair ratings.
And then I handed it to Toby and I was like, wait, please, can we redo it?
Because you got called out.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That was
Because you
the
got
best
called
thing
out for being a sore loser.
That was the
okay?
best thing that ever happened to you, so you could complain about it all day.
You guys know how it is, alright? They betrayed Roz.
You betrayed Roz!
I was forced to betray Roz because you were going to.
You
I
had
didn't want you to leave either.
You are an
1
adult.
minute
You have
on the
every
ball.
opportunity to make your own choices.
That's very true.
If someone forced you to betray Roz, would you do it?
Wait, you're throwing a lot of
Ross
shade
was-
for someone that was saved
Yeah.
by Fred's decision.
I trusted Roz. I trusted Johnny. I trusted
20
Hannah.
seconds!
I trusted them all.
It's
so
done.
much.
Fred, no one expected you to get past day 2, but here you are. Jesus Christ, the semi-finals. Jazzy Ann, this is your first and maybe last time in the bottom 2. Koi Piso has successfully played the both of you yet again. Hard to chat for Koi Piso. Fred, I'm sorry for everything you've been through. Jazzy, I'm sorry, but you are being asked to leave the Watchbox house for good.
Wow. Wow. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We win this. I love you. Bye.
Alright, Jazzy Ann.
See you guys.
Thank you.
I love you too.
For being in the
love you so
Watchbox
much.
house. 2 remain!
So somehow, I had made my way to the final. I don't know how I managed to manipulate my way here, but I somehow did it. I knew as soon as Jazzy Ann gave me a 1, I had to capitalize on it. I was sad that Jazzy Ann was leaving. Me, Koi, and Jazzy formed a really close friendship, and it was really sad to see her go. But it was either me or her. I have to admit, this show really messed with my emotions. We'd all gotten so close over the past 5 days, but we'd also all backstabbed one another. Emotion became a weakness. The night that Johnny left, I felt awful. I backstabbed my best friend, and it was all Koi's fault. I already got played by Koi once, and I really didn't want that to happen again. I didn't trust him one bit, and I knew that he didn't trust me either. So, it was a very tense evening. But after a night of sleep, we both felt much better. Well, that was until Tubbo handcuffed us together for the whole day. To be fair though, I think me and Koi were both just mentally exhausted from manipulating everybody the past 5 days, so we just kind of took this opportunity to have a bit of fun. The objective of the day was to gain each other's trust. But I gotta admit, after 5 days of fucking everyone around you over, it's quite hard to trust one another. I definitely started this week with the intention to split if I made it to the end. But as I said before, at this point, emotion is a weakness. I came here as an underdog, and I didn't want to come this far just to come second, especially to an American. There were also people who believed in me, people who had been rooting for me from the start, and I really wanted to fulfill that hope and belief that they had, even though I was predicted to go very early on.
1 red and 1 green. I would like you to pick whether you're going to split or steal the money with your housemate Fred that you have spent 120 hours in here with. You are playing for $5,000. That is what has been on the line this entire time. If you will both please get your card ready to pull out. On the count of 3, I would like you to reveal your cards. 3, 2, 1. Freddie Badlinu, congratulations! You have just won $5,000. Koi, I'm sorry, you're going home with nothing. Will you please now both go and pack your bags?
So, Koi picked split, which definitely took me by surprise. I had a little bit of regret, but at the end of the day, I won it for you guys. And winning as the underdog is one of the best feelings ever. Now, it's been about a month since this competition ended, and I would like to say that I actually ended up splitting the money with Koi. Obviously, he's my friend outside of the show, and I didn't want to actually take any money from him. Again, he's my friend. Out of my share, I'm going to donate it to Calm. Calm is a mental health charity, and I've worked with them very closely over the past few years. I'd heavily recommend donating to them if you can. We came into this house knowing not to take anything personally. It was all for content, and we had so much fun throughout the week. And finally, Koi, a message directly to you.